this is question 2 of my A2 media evaluation, and it is: how effective is the combination of your main production with your ancillary tasks? How effective is the combination of your main product and ancillary tasks? The opening to this is the opening of the radio advert and the documentary.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
So the audio of the radio advert is essentially the audio of this video, which not only shows similarities between the text, but also shows how intertextuality has been used. This intrigues the audience due to the recognition of the event being referred to. The emphasis of this feature throughout each of the productions shows how the documentary is focused on the context of this event, which is obviously the Lance Armstrong interview with Oprah Winfrey, which intrigues the audience. The voiceover for documentary and radio advert is also the same.
In an age where young talent is demanded worldwide, how much is doping having a detrimental effect on the chances of young people getting through the ranks? We asked several grassroots athletes of their views on the practice.
How is it being tackled? What effect is it having on the next generation? What are the consequences? Pushing the boundaries, on BBC4 Thursday at 9 PM. So as you can see here, the voiceover for the documentary and radio advert is also the same. The usage of the male voice enforces the aim to the male demographic target audience. The voiceover is also familiar to each production, building a sense of consistency which interlinks the projects. This is a fairly conventional element for documentary brands, as they often tend to have a voiceover in which is normally similar over each production they make. So the image is used for the print advert as a shot used in documentary. The image is used frequently throughout the production, and when watching the documentary, seeing the shot will instantly intrigue the audience due to how it is seen in the print advert. They've probably seen it before. There were powerful connotations due to the strong affiliation cycling has with doping, through a perceived manner especially. It heavily focuses on this throughout and builds up a powerful message signifying the extent of doping. This is also a fairly conventional feature due to how documentaries often look to focus on singular images and how it has a big impact on the sort of topic they are often focusing on, which I feel is something that is being done here, and it also reflects my brand identity pretty well, so that's why I've been using it quite frequently. And the Kings of Leon song is also fairly prominent.
Or must we conform to the notion that whilst the situation may not be ideal, it is simply something that plays a role in making sport as popular as it is?
Mediocrity is an excruciating reality for sporting stars, triggering a rise of an activity which has become a nightmare for sporting fans: doping. So, as you can see, it's also a prominent feature. This song is a prominent feature of the brand identity. This is done mainly in order to reflect the overall atmosphere involved with doping. It's mysterious, hard-hitting, and controversial. I feel the tempo of the music fits this well, with a slow yet high-pitched tempo complementing the general mood of the topic in a befitting manner. It also is intriguing to a male demographic, with a male rock band likely to be more appealing to a male demographic. And this is also fairly conventional for a lot of documentary sort of topics. Also, focus on key aspects of doping is seen throughout here.
How much is doping having a detrimental effect on the chances of young people getting through the ranks? We asked several grassroots athletes of their views on the practice.
How is it being tackled? What effect is it having on the next generation? What are the consequences? So this fits in with the overall brand of the documentary, as I am looking to make it fairly hard-hitting with possibly an element of shock to the audience. Listing effects used with rhetorical questions in the documentary as well as the radio advert supports this as it makes the audience think more, leading them to be intrigued by the brand. This is important for a documentary that is looking to gain success from focusing on a topic that is controversial. As it's supposed to be quite informative, it's also supposed to develop on the context of certain features, which overall makes it a lot more interesting and hard-hitting. And heavy emphasis on sport in each aspect of the production is also seen. So this is important due to how a large audience can be reached through a focus on sport due to a high-held interest. This is seen throughout the documentary and the print advert, as you can see here. Especially here in my documentary is the opening sequence. And also in my radio advert there are references to sport in many ways, as you can see. Just how far are athletes willing to go in order to gain an edge?
Is there any stopping Lance Armstrong in this Tour de France? And the answer is no, there isn't.
So this is important. This is an important feature of my brand. There's been an emphasis on the overall topic, as this is important. This is an important element as to what the audience base their viewing preferences on, which is basically sport in this case. So it's important. So it's important to sort of build up the image or the message that we are trying to pull across from the documentary. And the text for the documentary also fits in with the BBC 4 logo with the advert. The title, as you can see here, is quite interesting, as it sort of looks to fit in with the similarity to the BBC 4 logo and the text on the print advert, as you can see there. This is done in order to build up a sort of sense of sophistication in order to relate to the adult demographic being aimed at. The fact that it feels that it fits in with the overall BBC 4 brand also hints at an informative element due to this being a common feature of BBC 4 documentaries. This is also very conventional due to how most documentary brands, when they look to build up brands, they look to build them up with similar fonts, similar colours, in order to enforce the whole image that is being put across from it. You can see this a lot with Channel 4, as we will see here. So Channel 4 Channel 4 is an example of why brand identity is so important, because as you'll see here. So as you can see, this is images of children being alienated from society in, it's sort of a symbolization of this sort of thing. Children in their advert, Britain's Forgotten Children. And the font here, which you'll see, is also notable, as each of these images sort of encapsulate into this print advert. The importance of this is essentially delivering a clear message, as well as promotion of the brand, which is the Channel 4 documentary brand. And this is why the Channel 4 documentary brand is so successful in the UK, and why many people sort of look to rate it incredibly highly as a documentary institution. This is because they constantly look to fit in with the institutional conventions of delivering a clear message to attract viewers due to their whilst maintaining their brand identity. So I've looked to match this in many ways with uses of similar shots, fonts, colours throughout, as you can see with the text I've used for my print advert, along with the titles I've used in my documentary, with other aspects such as the Kings of Leon music, how this is matched throughout. And this is why brand identity is incredibly important in the documentary industry.